It was a quiet Saturday morning in Willow Creek, the kind where you'd expect to hear nothing but birds chirping and the hum of a distant lawnmower. I was sipping coffee on my porch, savoring the calm, when I saw her Lisa, the self-crowned queen of our HOA, marching down the street like she was leading a parade. She was handing out glossy flyers, her face lit with the kind of zeal you'd see in a late-night infomercial. The flyers screamed, "Water is for everyone, not for James, and community over commissioners." Apparently, James Carter, the state water commissioner, was the VY Lane in her suburban soap opera, all because my lawn was greener than her dusty patch of grass. This wasn't just about a lawn, though. Lisa had been running Willow Creek like her personal fiefdom for years: spreadsheets, HOA bulletins, even dictating what color your Christmas wreath could be. She had her fingers in every committee, rewriting gardening rules, sniffing around backyards like a bloodhound. But with town council elections coming up, she saw me as a golden ticket. If she could take down a state official with a lush lawn, she'd be a shoo-in for real power. Me? I didn't care about politics. I cared about facts, fairness, and not how VYing to check my sprinklers for booby traps. Things got weird that afternoon when I checked my wells inspection log. At 3 a.m. the night before, the flow rate had spiked triple the normal rate for 20 minutes. I hadn't watered anything, and the timers backed me up. Someone had messed with the valves. I pulled up my security footage, and there she was, Lisa, in a hoodie and garden gloves, hunched over my irrigation panel like she was cracking a safe. She fumbled, twisted the valve, then hilariously slipped in the wet mulch and flopped onto her back like a stranded turtle. She scrambled off, Leah VYing a clip-on earring and a torn HOA badge. It was a crime scene straight out of a sitcom. I could have gone full scorched earth press charges, filed a restraining order, maybe leaked the VY Deo to the neighborhood group chat. But part of me wanted to see how far she'd push this. She thought she was clever. I wanted to watch her paint herself into a corner. Sure enough, the next day, a formal HOA notice arrived, signed by Lisa and two board members I'd never heard of. It claimed my well, while legal, VY OLAT the spirit of equitable water distribution in Willow Creek. They proposed a new rule. All water sources had to be registered and approved by the HOA for communal fairness. It was nonsense, as enforceable as a kid's lemonade stand permit, but it looked official enough to fool the average homeowner. Curiosity got the better of me, so I showed up to the next HOA meeting, held in Lisa's driveway under a pop-up tent. There were lemon squares, lukewarm coffee, and a laminated mission statement. Lisa stood behind a lectern with a plastic bonsai tree, preaching like she was narrating her own documentary. She unveiled Operation Water Balance, a plan to monitor private water systems. A few residents nodded, probably just hoping their dues wouldn't go up. Then came the kicker. Her new company, Greenwave Solutions LLC, would offer affordable water audits and eco-friendly lawn conversions for a reasonable fee. That's when it clicked. This wasn't just about control she was cashing in. She'd whipped up a drought panic, crowned herself the expert, and now wanted to sell the fix. Greenwave was registered under her maiden name, no direct HOA ties, and she'd used HOA funds to print her community engagement flyers. It was a scam, plain and simple, just with more flamingo lawn ornaments than usual. I started digging. Public records showed Greenwave had snagged a county grant for drought mitigation research, listing Lisa's garage as its address. The research? A one-page PDF stuffed with buzzwords like aquifer synergy and hydro-optimized compost. It read like a middle schooler's Wikipedia ripoff. I printed everything: dates, emails, grant numbers, and filed an ethics complaint with the state's Municipal Oversight Office. Not out of spite, but because corruption doesn't get a pass just because it's wrapped in a suburban bow. But Lisa wasn't done. Days later, anonymous tips started hitting local reporters, claiming I was using my state water certification for personal gain. The accusations were flimsy, based on doctored or stolen city records. I got an envelope with a blurry photo of me holding a hose, circled in red like I was a mob boss. Then, the HOA Facebook group lit up with a post accusing me of being a stealth developer, greening the neighborhood to sell it to a corporate firm. The proof? I've been seen talking to men in suits near the playground. Those were my nephews, VY citing from college. Her campaign was getting absurd, but it was cracking. Neighbors started slipping by my house, asking for xeriscaping tips or how to dodge Lisa's voluntary backyard inspections. One night, while reviewing her rushed new HOA bylaws, I spotted something sinister. The water approval rules weren't just about fairness. They let the board, aka Lisa, collect data from private irrigation systems. This wasn't meddling. It was a surveillance network disguised as eco-friendliness. I filed an emergency injunction with the regional zoning board to freeze all HOA power over private utilities. The war for Willow Creek had gone underground, and the leak wasn't just in the pipes, it was in the power. By week 3, Willow Creek felt like a suburban Cold War. Sidewalks carried whispered alliances, and even the ice cream truck driver kept his engine running. Then the group chat exploded. An anonymous post dropped screenshots of state water memos and accused me of profiting from water access. Rumors snowballed. I'd installed surveillance sensors in sprinkler boxes, was buying properties under fake names, even met a water lobbyist in a grocery store. That was my cousin, who once tried microwave VYing a burrito in tinfoil. Lisa wasn't alone anymore. Someone with digital savvy was helping her. That afternoon, Officer Mike, Lisa's old high school flame, showed up with a complaint alleging I'd stolen municipal property and run unauthorized surveillance. It was laughable, but it had already hit the local news. I and VY Ted Mike in, showed him my permits, logs, and a city inspector's letter praising my system. He squinted like he was reading hieroglyphs, left muttering about a report, and probably forgot it in his glove box. But the damage was done. Suspicion spreads faster than truth. That night, I found my email hacked. Hundreds of messages were gone or forwarded. A local blogger posted a hit piece, The Commissioner's Cover-Up, twisting my past work, exposing illegal water siphoning into a shady deal. This wasn't just Lisa. Someone bigger was gunning for me. Zoning records revealed Moss Ridge Ventures, a holding company, had bought 3 vacant lots in Willow Creek. Their accountant? The same one tied to Greenwave. This wasn't about HOA rules, it was about flipping the neighborhood for profit. I called Dr. Henry Walsh, my old mentor from the Department of Water Resources. He rolled up in a Subaru reeking of pine and old maps. We pored over water rights, permits, and soil surveys, finding a gem. 20 years ago, Willow Creek's original builder was denied expansion due to water table limits. That denial still held, and my office could block any new development. Lisa was part of a scheme she didn't fully grasp, built on a legal fault line. At Lisa's Community Crisis Summit, she went full theatered string diagrams, a poster board labeled Carter's Crimes. Slide 1 called me a water elitist. Slide 2 claimed I'd hidden a well under the dog park. Slide 3 was just my backyard with suspicious in giant font. I let her ramble, then handed out copies of the development denial, Moss Ridge's land deals, and Dr. Walsh's aquifer risk statement. Neighbors started whispering. Why hadn't Lisa mentioned the developers? Why did Greenwave share an address with them? One guy grumbled about her drought-resistant spray killing his lawn. Lisa paled, stammering about sabotage, but her story was crumbling. I didn't stay to gloat. The tide had turned, but Lisa wasn't one to slink away. 2 days later, a certified letter announced an emergency REVYEW committee hearing to probe my hydrological manipulation. She'd and VY Ted a news crew and booked a DJ for a CIVYC after-party. I strolled in 20 minutes late. Lisa was in full TED Talk mode, headset on, pacing before a slideshow of my backyard across, seasoned some photos predating my move. She had graphs, even a chart of emotional responses to lawn overhydration. The crowd was small, mostly there for the drama. The news crew looked bored, the DJ was on his phone. Lisa spotted me, pointing like I'd crashed her one-woman show. Here's the man who thinks green grass is worth your cracked foundations, she bellowed. I passed out folders with my injunction, a state investigation report, and a letter from the Attorney General clearing me. The room hushed. I stepped forward, not to steal her spotlight, but to lay it bare. Moss Ridge's plans, Lisa's siphoned HOA funds, her unsafe, Water SAVYing product under investigation. Then I handed the news crew a flash drive with the footage of Lisa sneaking onto my property, fumbling my sprinkler valves, and face-planting in a mulch. The room watched, stunned, as she flailed like a cartoon VY lane. Lisa shrieked about illegal footage, but it was over. A quiet voice from the back asked, "Lisa, did you really find someone for morning dew?" Laughter rippled, not cruel, just tired. Tired of her drama, her fines, her endless clipboard patrols. Her power didn't break, it evaporated. That night, county fraud officers not Mike took Lisa for questioning. Her eco-harmony scam had been under their radar for weeks. The HOA board ousted her, then quit entirely. Willow Creek entered what someone called the hydration reconstruction. Neighbors started talking again, not just about lawns, but about everything they'd been too scared to say under Lisa's reign. We rewrote the HOA rules, tore down the cameras, and I helped a few folks set up their own wells, guiding them through permits like a neighbor should. A month later, a young couple moved in across the street, eager gardeners. The husband waved, holding a fancy irrigation timer. "Her to the guy for keeping hydrangeas alive," he grinned. I laughed, happy to help. "Just don't run your sprinklers on a moonless Tuesday. Lisa might haunt your begonias." We chuckled, but as I turned back, I saw a package on my doorstep. No return address. Inside, a thumb drive, a bag of dehydrated lawn feed, and a note. "This isn't over." I stared at it, then walked inside. In the suburbs, some wars never end. But I'd be ready. So what do you think? Was Lisa just a power-hungry neighbor, or was she a pawn in a bigger game? Should I have leaked that VY Deo sooner, or let her dig her own grave? And what's with that creepy package revenge or a bluff? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're Team James, and subscribe for more stories that'll make you question your own neighborhood. Who's the Lisa in your HOA?